Right then, it looks like we are live. Hi there everyone. So I've got a new background today. Well, I've been using this background for the last few days, so I thought I'd just use it today. I can flick back onto the other one if you would like me to, so if everyone's sick of the white, I can just flip back. What I'm thinking of doing is actually putting like a load of scenes together on OBS, and then I can just flick between all of them for whatever like videos I'm doing. So yeah, if everyone doesn't like the white, then we can flip back. I was going to put my photography lights either side, because that actually, I realised the other day, that actually gets rid of that little, you know, thing that goes across. It's basically the like sort of crossbar that goes across this green screen at the back. But if I have my photography lights on, it actually gets rid of that. But I couldn't be bothered putting them up, and also it's so hot today that if I had them two bright lights on me, I couldn't stand it for more than 20 minutes. So yeah, I thought I wouldn't do that. But yeah, there is a way to fix that anyway, so that's cool. We've got Peter in the chat, we've got Dr. Doodle Doo, we've got Gemma, and we've got Southwest Sellers, which is Gary. Hi there. As you can see, I'm in my short sleeve shirt today, which I don't generally wear short sleeve shirts, but it's that hot. It's honestly that hot that even I have to wear a short sleeve shirt. But yeah, I very rarely wear shorts or wear short sleeve shirts or sort of anything relating to summer or what you would think of summer. Even if it's summer, I'll still be in a coat. So yeah, it's really weird for me to be wearing short sleeve shirt. But yeah, that just shows how hot it is. It's like, I think it's about 27 again today, or it will be in a couple of hours. On the BBC weather, it said that anyway on the website. So yeah, it's lovely. It was really hot yesterday. About sort of 4 or 5 o'clock, I always think to myself, oh god, it's getting a bit hot now. But the rest of the day, I can't complain. You know, it's really nice. Like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock this morning, really lovely when I went outside. And it'll still be quite good now, but it's just when it gets to that right peak of the day that you really start to feel it, and you're like, ooh, you know, it's just a couple of degrees too much. But we never get this sort of weather, and to be honest, I was complaining for so long about how horrible the weather was throughout winter that I can't really complain now that it's warm. You know, all I was wanting through that long winter we had was some warm weather. So anyway, if everyone's enjoying the weather, whack it in the chat. What have you been up to? Have you been doing a little bit less work and maybe going out and enjoying the sun? Have you been going to the beach, or what's everyone been doing anyway? So we've got, who else have we got? Muck Digger Marcus, got some good news ads. I've been approved for Amazon merch. Took 5 days from application. Wow, that is really good. I think mine took a few months from application, and that was in 2016. And then obviously I got approved in April, I think it was, of 2017. Good afternoon, ads reselling Polly. Jason says, so do you do eBay reselling full time? Well, you could say that. However, I'm kind of transitioning at the moment. I wouldn't say I'm going to be like leaving eBay reselling or anything like that. Nothing like that. But I would say that I'm not a full-time eBayer. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. And what I mean by that, without all the whistles and bells, and you know, people say, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, and they think it's some fancy thing, and they say it just to boast, really. But what I mean by I'm a full-time entrepreneur instead of just a full-time eBayer is just I look for opportunities wherever I can find them. So it doesn't need to be just with eBay. It can be with video production on YouTube, or you know, video production on other sites. It can be with investing, with Lego or cryptocurrency or stocks and shares, and all the things that I do, I want to get enough to make a full-time income. So I'm not just an eBay reseller. I'm kind of a bit of everything, and that's kind of where I want to be in my life, really. I want to do a majority of things that will equate to a really decent income. So yeah, I did start out as a full-time eBay reseller and a full-time sort of reseller, but now I'm kind of branching off and doing other things, and just trying to increase the level of income sources I have, or income streams I have, so then I don't have to work as hard. Like, you know, I get a few income streams that are less work, there's less work involved than eBay. So then if I have a down day on eBay, it doesn't matter so much. Or if, you know, if I just don't want to work on my eBay one day, I've got other things that are bringing me in money that I don't have to work as hard at. So yeah, you could say I'm a full-time eBay reseller, but I'm also sort of transitioning into a new phase of my business as well. Right then, I'll just quickly go up. Currently 28 here. Oh, 28 degrees. I was wondering what you were saying then, Guy. I thought you meant like you've listed 28 items or something, but no, 28 degrees. Wow, that's awesome. And yeah, so Marcus was saying he's been accepted for merch. I've not been doing much on merch, to be honest. Like, I mean, I've got to my 100 designs, but I've not been getting many other sales. I don't know whether my whole philosophy of pricing high is not going to work out very well. Maybe I need to come down a little bit with my prices to $17.99 rather than the $19.99. But I don't want to do that because I want to have pride in my work and I want to have pride in my designs and I want them to achieve a good price. So, but at the end of the day, if it's not selling, it might be a supply and demand issue. It might be the price, you know, is obviously too high. So obviously I've just got to do the necessary things for getting it down. But I'm glad you've been approved anyway. Just get as many designs as you can up first off. Try and target like I didn't actually do this. I just got tiered up anyway, which I was really lucky. But try and target designs that are like fairly good selling rank, so good bestsellers rank, and then that should help you actually get some initial sales in. Obviously you can use Merch Informer. My link is down below if you'd like to sign up using my link. But yeah, it's basically a great tool. The sales that I've made on merch are of the designs that I used the research from Merch Informer for. So yeah, Merch Informer is an incredible tool. Right then, sitting in my dad's pants, okay, in front of a fan cooling some beers for tonight. I've got a thing of water in the fridge because I just need something really ice cold, you know, at night times. I like having a bit of something ice cold, really. Sorry, that was my Discord, by the way. Oh, also, I just wanted to say about the Discord, I've not really been that active in it. I've got like about, I don't know, 8 or 9 people who've joined the Discord, so I want to try and get active in that. I've been doing so much other stuff this week other than eBay, and I will get onto the kind of eBay break thing that I've put as the topic, but I've been doing so much other stuff that I've not really been active in the Discord. We've had a few people in there, there's a few conversations gone on, but nothing more than that, so I need to get active in there. So if you'd like to join, the Discord link will be down below, and I'll try and actually be a bit more active in there and get people involved, and we can get that going properly. So yeah, if you didn't hear last week, yeah, you can join the Discord down below. I have set up a Discord chat for people, and as I say, I'll get that the ball rolling with that a little bit more this week. Although I have been kind of off, well, not off eBay, that's an over-exaggeration. I mean, I've been doing my packing and stuff like that. You know what I've been doing? I've been doing what Do-It-Yourself Lifestyle does, or Doing It Yourself Lifestyle does, Ryan. So he basically takes like a week off randomly, where it won't be like a direct week off, but he'll just like not list anything, and he'll still do his packing, he'll still do his, you know, putting his unsolds back on or whatever it is, whatever else you need to do, but just not listing. So that's what I've done this week. So I've had 5 days without listing so far, and it's so good. Like, in the last 4 years, I've not had like hardly any time off listing, so it's been absolutely amazing just to have a bit of time off listing. And as I say, sales have been up and down. It's been really odd. Like, I've had a good day, and then I've a bad day, and then yesterday was a bad day. So I don't think it's affecting me massively yet. However, if I had like more than a week off, I think maybe it would affect me a bit more. But I've got such a large inventory that it doesn't really matter. Well, I say such a large inventory, it's not that large compared to people who have 10,000 items or whatever, but it's quite large, you know, 1,300 items. So yeah, I've got quite a large inventory, so I can kind of afford to take a break, and you know, nothing really bad will happen. We've got Sparrow's End in the chat. Is that Mel? Hi there. There's another one out today. You're getting well behind. I don't know, I think she's referring to Peter or talking to Peter there. Let me just check up the chat. First day of listing for nearly 3 weeks. Wow, I have 47 items photographed. Wow. Well, you got a good session there going for you anyway, Gary. Hopefully you'll get some good items on. I'm just looking. I'm just tutting because I can't find anything in the chat. Let's see. I think it's just mainly chat I think mainly people are just having a chat with people. See, I have started with the last month reselling mainly toys and board games. I have only made a few £100, but doing this 2 days a week. To be honest, Jason, that is really good, because in my first month I like made, I don't even know, like a couple of hundred. I don't know, I can't remember. I'd have to go back to my, obviously I've got my account so I can go back and check, but offhand a couple of hundred, something like that. I think in the third month I was getting close to 1,000, which was good, but that was when board games and toys were a lot better. Like now they're not as good. They were kind of tailing off when I started, but they were still good, like they weren't that saturated. But yeah, so that is really good if you manage to clear a couple of hundred, you know, whether that's, well, not necessarily clear a couple of hundred, but actually make a couple of hundred in turnover even. That is really good. So yeah, just keep at it, and then it'll grow and grow month on month, and that'll give you more motivation. Like when it grows month on month, you'll get more and more motivation to do it more. Sales still pants, 11 no sales days in June, never been this bad. I suppose that won't have helped too much though with your non-listing. It has been bad though, just generally. June has not, like, I've not done hardly any in turnover. Like, I mean, I think I've done, in the entirety of like eBay, Amazon and other stuff, I think I might have done 2,400 in June in turnover, which really is low for me. Generally, it's anything below, like, if basically every month of the year I normally at least clear 3k in turnover, so that gives me a decent profit on 3k in turnover, even if I'm spending a lot on stock or something like that. So obviously when I'm getting to 2,400 or something in a month, that is low. This must be my lowest month for well over a year, like 18 months or something. So it's, yeah, it is slow. It is slow. May wasn't that great, but I think, well, yeah, it was over 3k. I'm pretty sure it was over 3k. Might have been 2.9 or something, but I'm pretty sure it was over 3k turnover. So yeah, it's been blooming slow. Question: how long did it take you to get your number of listings up to 1k? Trying to think now. About 12 to 18 months. I can't give you an accurate, I can't give you like a dead accurate sort of time limit on that, or time period that it actually took me, but 12 to 18 months sounds about right. From, yeah, maybe end of 2016, no actually, because end of 2016, maybe a bit longer, maybe 20 months, maybe about 20 months. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back. Like, you can go back on my videos and you can see, like, in certain videos I'll tell you how many listings I have at that time. So, I remember in, like, December of 2016, I think I had about 700, and then last December I had 1,500. Well, not December, but just before like Q4, I had 1,500 between Amazon and eBay. I've actually sort of just stagnated the last sort of 6-8, well, not stagnated in turnover, but stagnated in the number of listings. But the way I've combated that is actually just do slightly higher value items, or do, you know, just do more, generate more sales. So it's kind of not like I've not grown my listings, but I've still kind of somewhat grown my business, or stayed at a decent level anyway that I like. So yeah, don't worry too much about number of listings. Worry about the quality of items you're putting on. I've done so many different things in the last 4 years of like how I've evolved my business and how I've changed things up. I've just literally finished. I've literally finished as of yesterday doing the quantity route, but buying a large bulk of items that are mainly just crap items that you flip for, you know, 5, 10, 15 pound, and that's it. And maybe you get a lot of wastage out of those job lots as well. I've literally done 6 months of that, and I've just finished it as of yesterday. I changed my auction house. I got a man in a van to go down to this new auction house for me that has a lot better quality stuff, and I managed to grab myself a few 50, 60, 70 pound items, and I'm really happy that I'm going back to that quality route. Well, it's a quality and quantity route. I'm actually going down the route of getting quality but also getting bread and butter items, but from a different, more quality auction house, if you get what I'm saying. So I would say don't worry about how many items you've got, worry about the quality. Put on, from the get-go, put on quality. £20 items plus if you can. Just don't go down that route of putting on like £3, £4, £5 items. I've done it. I'm not saying it's a real negative and that you shouldn't do it necessarily, but you know, there's certain circumstances where, okay, it's fine. If you're going to be selling a large volume of those items and that's kind of your business model, then that's fine. But for me personally, in this reselling, you know, reselling second-hand goods, I would say go high value, maybe, you know, anything above 20 quid and just go like that. Get to 300, 400 listings and you could make an income. No doubt, you could make an income off 300 or 400 listings if they were all over 20 quid with, you know, plenty of maybe 50 to 100 pound items in there as well. Don't think about, you know, oh, I've got to get to 1,000 items. My goal was 1,000 items because, and I'll tell you this quite honestly, I thought it sounded good when I could tell it to people. Oh, I've got 1,000 items on eBay. You know, I've got 1,000 items on eBay. And I remember I was in my friend's bedroom and one of his friends from university was there. And I said, oh, you know what, I run my own business and it takes a lot to have 1,000 items on eBay, you know. And I purposefully said that because I have a complex in my brain where I am quite egotistical. And sometimes that can get triggered and I can be a little bit cocky or egotistical in that way. And I remember saying that and I was so happy that I said that. But you could have 1,000 crap items on. What is the point in having 1,000 items on if they're all crap and they don't sell? Don't get tricked by people saying, oh, well, you know, I've got 1,000 items on, I've got 2,000 items on, you're not a good seller if you only have this number of items on. Because let me tell you right now, there is numerous people doing like triple the amount I do with, you know, like triple less listings. So they might have like 300 or 400 listings, I have 1,300, but they're doing triple the amount. So it's insane. So don't get caught in that trap of you have to have loads of listings and that's the way to do this. There's many different ways to do this, and I would say go down the quality route from the get-go. That's my experience. That's what I've not done for the last 6 months because I wanted to try out this new method of going for the quantity route. Now I wish I wouldn't say I wish I didn't do that. I actually meant to say I'm really glad I did that because it's then given me the wisdom to see what is more right for myself, which is the quality route. You know, the quality route is more right for myself. Quantity route does work. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It just takes a whole lot more time and effort for the same amount of money or for less money than you could have been earning on the quality route. So, yeah. Anyway, I know I'm ranting about that, but the reason I get, like, very, like, I raise my voice when I'm talking about things like that is I want to drive it into people. Look, I know I've made the mistakes so far and I'll continue to make the mistakes for the next 10 years if I have to. And then I can relate this to you guys and force it into you and say, don't do this or try to avoid doing this because I've done it and it's not worked for me. So, I mean, just take my advice with a pinch of salt, but also at the same time at least take it on board and at least get a few other pieces of advice from other people, and then you can get that advice and think, right, what am I gonna do? But I just want you to at least take this advice on board. So I get very passionate and very loud when I am sort of ranting about these things. Anyway, that's such good advice, Ad. Thank you. Totally agree that the numbers sound good, but it can be deceptive. I'm aiming to make 1k profit a month eventually and have about 180 listings. Will increase slowly. 1,000 a month is perfectly achievable. I do that, so that's very, very achievable. And I'm not even a very good reseller. I wouldn't say I'm that good of a reseller. I'm okay, but there's certainly, I've identified strengths in other areas of business. For one of my huge strengths is Lego investing, and I don't do that enough. I don't play to that strength enough, but certainly one of my biggest strengths is Lego investing. Investing as a whole is my biggest strength, my biggest asset that I have. I've identified that. Reselling, I know we're very, very similar, the two, but reselling I'm weaker at than investing. So I've identified that, and I think even me, you know, as I say, if I can do that on eBay, then, you know, being identifying that as a slightly weaker strength for myself, then someone who is a lot better than me, maybe your strength is much better in reselling, you'll be able to far exceed that. It just takes so much goddamn work and so much like I don't even know how to express it. Just every single week something will go wrong. Like even if it's something little, if you're in business, something will go wrong every single week. Doesn't really matter what business it is. There are probably some businesses out there that there are, you know, far less things that go wrong than others. But I find in reselling that so many things go wrong on a week-to-week basis, and you have to plow through them. You have to keep pushing through them. And something as little as, I remember my printer broke down one time, and actually this was at the time I was getting scammed on, I think it was, I don't know whether it was Gumtree or Facebook or something. Anyway, I was buying a large quantity of items off someone, and I was getting scammed at that time, and I lost probably, I don't know, probably £200 to £300 getting scammed, and I've got scammed 3 times in my reselling career, or twice or 3 times, and my printer broke down on a Monday when I had tons of parcels to go out. I was going through the issue with this guy. He was being very, very frustrating with me. I didn't know it was a scam at the time, but he was being very, very frustrating, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do with this guy? My printer's broke down, I've got to get my parcels out, so I go downstairs, get my mum and dad's up, and my mum and dad's, I don't know what was wrong. Oh, I think my mum and dad didn't have any ink in it, and we didn't have any ink in at the time, or something like that. So all these things start to mount up, and there was something else that went wrong as well, but I can't remember. It might have been like a negative feedback in the same week, and it put me over the edge. I wanted to quit. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Why? Why do I have to go through this? Every time I go through this, I put so much goddamn effort in, and every time I have to bloody go through these problems every single week. And then you get to the point of just thinking, right, calm down, just take a minute, you know, take an hour or whatever if you can. Get the parcel out. Try and find a way to get the parcels out, because that's the priority. So then what you do is you prioritize, you get the things out that need to be done, you move on, and sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes if you get scammed or something like that, there's a limit where you have to say, right, I'm writing that off, because there's nothing I can do in my power to get that money back, or there's nothing I can do to advance the situation in my favour further, so I've got to write that off and move on, because my time is worth a lot more listing new items. I could list 20 or 30 new items today, and of a total listed value of £600 to £1,000 or whatever it is, and I could get maybe 400 or 500, well, not 400 or 500, but like 200 or 300, 400 profit on that. And that would basically make up the money I lost if I was battling this sort of scammer or whatever it is, or eBay case or something. And I might not even get that money, but I am pretty much, not completely guaranteed to get the money if I list items instead, but you're more guaranteed to get that money than you might do with something that's going down the pan already, like you've been scammed and stuff like that. So you have to make a definitive choice in these situations. I'm not saying just give up and write all these things off. There's many times where I've fought things, there's times when I've won, and there's times when I've lost, and there's times when I've said, right, I'm going to draw back. But certainly you've got to analyse and see where you're up to, and then think to yourself, right, am I going to fight it? Am I going to try and win this? Or am I going to just say, right, I'll write it off and we'll get on with some good listings today and get that money back for myself? So, yeah, anyway, I've seen it all. It's terrible. It's terrible. Well, I've not seen it all, but I've probably got a lot more to come. But I feel like I've seen it all. God, it's ridiculous. Anyway, let's go up the chat. How's Electra? She is fine. She lost a collar the other day, which, well, no, she didn't. She had a collar stuck round her foot, so I had to cut it off because it was like trapping her foot really bad, and I didn't want it to restrict her airflow or anything like that. So it was like all this. It was like right round here or something. So it wasn't good. It did not look good. She was sleeping at the time, and obviously I had to wake her up because I had to find the little latch for this collar, and it's a quick release latch. However, she's had this collar for over a year now, and the quick release latch had I literally wouldn't pull off. It's supposed to pull off really easy, so I ended up having to cut it off in the end. And then she walked outside and went outside for a bit, and then I got another collar on her. But she looked really weird without a collar. She looked like her neck looked really, so it was like almost like a lion's mane on her neck, because the fur all just like puffed up, you know, after being in that collar for a while, which you wouldn't think it would do that much, because you'd think it would be suppressed down more and just it would slowly sort of come up, but it looked like it was quite bushy. It was weird. Anyway, hope England win tonight as my World Cup soccer sheet. I don't know about the World Cup. I've not been watching it. I was thinking, I'm wondering about my team I've got. I don't know what my team is again now, but I've got some sweepstake or something on it. But I've not even been watching the World Cup. I normally do. I normally watch it quite a lot. I watch like England, and I'll watch like maybe Spain and Portugal, but I've just not been watching it. I don't know why. Average selling price is £34.29 at present, mostly crockery. Sold a teapot for £65. Wow, that's awesome. I've got I've got a few bits of like crockery and plates and stuff like that from the auction yesterday. I got some nice brass bits, got a few bits of silver plate, and I think, what else? Oh, and I got some toys. I got quite a few vintage toys. I got a lot of Subbuteo, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I got some good items, and pretty much everything is, there isn't any items like under a tenner in those job lots. Like everything is a tenner. There's like loads, like I mean loads of 20 to 30 items, like solid 20 to 30 items, 20 to 30 pound items. So I'm really happy with that, because in the job lots I was getting from the other auction house, it was like £5, £10 items. If you're lucky, you'd get a 20 quid item, but this one's like starting off at £10 plus postage items, and then it's working all the way up to like 80, 90 quid items that I've got in these job lots. So really happy with the change I've made, and hopefully I'll be able to buy big at the next auction, which is at the end of July. So yeah, I'm going to focus on buying big at that auction. And it cost me less with the man in the van as well, because I actually, it wasn't as far away. But I didn't want to go there myself, because it would have been like 2 or 3 trips in the car. I didn't spend loads. I didn't get like loads and loads, but it would have been 2 trips in the car. And I thought, you know what? I'll just get that. You know, I'll just do the man in the van situation. So it was only 30 quid, which was like incredibly good. Generally, you know, for that sort of trip, you know, well, generally for a man in the van, if you're wanting to go 15, 20 miles or something, it's like 50 quid, something like that. As I say, this was a little bit shorter, so that's why it was cheaper. But to get, you know, it's the same amount of stuff as I would get at another auction house. So I was really happy with that. You know, it was really sort of cheap, you know, for what I got, the service I got. And what you've got to remember with when you're getting a man in a van is, well, for what, there's a lot of things you need to remember when getting a man in a van. You need someone you can trust for one thing. You need someone you can trust. You need someone who's going to do the job as you would do it, and not leave anything behind, and not leave your receipt there and all that sort of stuff. Not your receipt, your invoice and all that sort of stuff. But the one thing that you want with a man in a van, I forgot my train of thought now. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, it's gone. What was I saying? I can't even remember what I was saying. I was saying something about a man in a van, but I was thinking, what's the one thing you need to think about with a man in a van? No, it's gone. Damn it, and that was a really good tip, and I forgot it. It might come back to me in a minute. I'll have to, I don't know. Oh, we were talking about you before, doing it yourself lifestyle. Well, I was talking about you before. Great advice as usual. Well, as usual, winky face. What does that mean? Does that mean some of my advice is questionable? Well, I would agree with that anyway. Some of it is. I've not given out good advice in the past, but that's just because I'm learning. I think, like, in 10 years' time, my advice is going to be so different than it is now, and I'm probably going to be way off. Like, looking back 10 years from now, I'm going to be thinking, oh my god, I said that in a video. That's crap advice. So you've got to take this with a pinch of salt. I am bloody 22 years old. I've been reselling for 3 years. When I'm 32 years old and I've been reselling for 13 years, then you can take what I say as a bit more given, because I would expect by the time I've been reselling for 13 years, I can actually say, look, I pretty much know what I'm talking about here, so my advice is sound. But you've got to realise that I'm only 3 years into this still, so I am I wouldn't even call myself seasoned yet. You know, you're seasoned when you've been doing this 5 or 6 years, you know, when you've really seen each year out and seen how seasonal selling comes in, and you know what the sort of sales landscape is over the year for a number of years. But yeah, anyway, I'll try and think about that man in the van thing, because I completely forgot that. Oh, I don't know what it was. But anyway, I was saying, you know, you do need someone you can trust with when you get in. Oh, that was it. I've remembered. Right, okay. It's cool. I've got it. Right. The best thing, the thing that everyone forgets about when we think about, oh, you know, I've got to pay out 50 quid for a man in a van, why don't I just go down there myself? The thing that everyone forgets is time. When the person I employ to obviously collect this stuff for me is going to collect that stuff, that might be an hour job, let's say. It might be longer if there's queues, because if there's queues, it might, you know, it could be, I don't know. But generally, it's probably not going to be longer than an hour. It might even be a bit less. But by the time you've got there and you've got back, with the driving, it's about an hour or a bit longer. So you're thinking, right, well, I'm paying 30 quid for that. The petrol's going to cost me a £5 alone, so you can whack a £5 off that. So that's 25 quid you're paying him. And essentially, let's say you're paying him 25 quid for the hour, or just over the hour. You can get listing done in that hour at way more than 25 quid profit. You can get packaging done in that hour that you wouldn't be able to do if you're down there. You could maybe even try and multitask and do packaging and listing at the same time if you really want to. But you've got to think like that. So that's the way I think. Outsource the time, well, not, yeah, kind of outsource. No, outsource to a person to get some time back for yourself. So I could literally, like, while he's going down there one day, say, you know, 11 o'clock or whatever, 2 o'clock, whatever time it is, I could sit on this computer for an hour, time myself, obviously write down like how much listed value I've got in that hour, which could be 500 or 600 quid quite comfortably if I've got higher value items. Then I work out my net profit on that, let's say that's 200, 250, and then I think to myself, well, I've just bloody 10x my money for getting him to go down there for 25 quid or whatever. And in this game, it's all about time versus money. And if I can sit back here and, you know, sit on my computer and list some items while he's going down there for me, and then just literally pop down to my lockup for 5 minutes, because my lockup is literally less than 5-minute drive away, pop down there, get it into the lockup, bring some more stuff back, get it photographed, and then get straight back on with listing. I've basically divided my time like massively, because I've spent 10 minutes or 15 minutes doing something that would maybe take a lot longer. So that's something that people don't factor in as much. Don't worry about the expense of it, because that you can get that expense back and more by actually using your time effectively while they're doing that job for you. So I want to illustrate that point as well. That's something that, you know, I've picked up on, and that is a good thing about outsourcing. You know, this year for me was all about outsourcing, you know, trying to outsource my my time to someone else, outsource the job I've got to do to someone else to actually help the time in my core business. Some things of doing that haven't worked, i.e. the buying merch designs, that didn't work for me. But some things like hiring a man in a van, that's been a godsend, that's been brilliant. So, and it's not that I've not had problems, you know, I faced problems along the way of actually choosing someone and, you know, using a few different companies. I faced a few problems along the way, and I had a bad experience with one company actually. I'm not going to name the company, because I don't think it was necessarily the company's fault. It was actually the company that, it was basically the company that hired 2 people in a man in a van who I didn't think they were very efficient. They actually forgot to give me the invoice from the auction house because they didn't even remember to pick it up. They didn't even remember to grab it from the lady or whatever. So anyway, but that was a whole another story. And when they turned up, the van was absolutely a tip. Any of my items could have easily got broken. It was ridiculous. It was like a proper full van with, obviously I was getting crockery and stuff collected, and they had just got it full with everything all stacked up everywhere. So, you know, the person I use now is so much more There's a lot more attention to detail. There's a lot more sort of quality there. He basically only has my stuff in his van when he is collecting. There's no one else's stuff in there, just my stuff. So obvious, and then he covers it all with like a tarpaul, make sure it's all cool. He doesn't stack anything on top of each other, so there's nothing that can get broken that way. So yeah, choosing someone with a man in the van is hard, and you've got to be aware of what you're doing with that. Choose someone you trust, you know, maybe meet up with them first and talk through what you want from them, and then obviously, you know, if we're a local man in the van, then you can obviously meet up wherever or whatever, and then, you know, talk through it, opposed to getting someone online with one of these online sort of third-party sites. So yeah, I would definitely do a direct link with someone who's local, someone that obviously you can build up a good relationship with, and that does things properly. So yeah, anyway, I won't ramble about that any longer. It seems like it's just been one big lecture today. It's just been like, right, you must do this and you must do that, and I've been through all this crap, and I know that this is this and this is that. I don't mean to be like that. I'm just trying to get all this out of here, because I've not talked about a few of these things in the past. So I thought I'm just gonna get it all out and see if anything sticks with you, and see if obviously, you know, you get anything out of actually the information I'm providing. Because I mean, some weeks I really do go off on one and I don't talk about reselling at all, so I kind of like to make up for that in weeks where I'm like giving you proper information, like feeding you information into your brain, like loads of it, and thinking, oh yeah, that's a good way of doing that, and all this sort of stuff. But anyway, we're all here to help each other. So with that being said, let's have a look in the chat. Damn ads, 22 young gun. I know, right? I'm just thinking, like, if I've done this at 22, how good am I going to be at like 30? I keep thinking like, oh yeah. Again, that's my egotistical side coming in. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I would be pretty good at 30 or 35, or I mean, can you imagine like 55, like, or like, you know, I think of myself like double my age now, where I've got 22 more years on the planet, like at 44, like how much I could do. Because basically I wasted the first 14 years of my life not doing anything. It was only at about 13, 14 I actually started dabbling a little bit with rain ponchos on eBay and stuff like that, like I've talked about in the past. So it was only 14 I really started properly doing stuff. So I think to myself, well, I wasted 14 years, so another 22 years, I'll have a full 22 years you know, on me neck. So that means by the time I'm 44, I could be like, whoa, that'd be awesome. But we'll see. I don't know. I can't even remember what 22 was like. Been a while. Why? Oh, I was thinking maybe you were drinking a lot at 22 or something. That's what came to mind to me. I kind of, let's just say, I did all my experimenting, all my drinking, all my grey area of the law activities, or even not grey area of the law and maybe a bit on the other side of the law activities when I was younger. So I went through that when I was about 16 to 18. I was that, and I did it all in sort of one summer or 2 summers, and that was enough for me. And I realised I had the epiphany of, oh, you know what, I don't like doing this. I mean, by the end of my 18th year on this planet, I was thinking, you know what, I've been to clubs most of this year, I've been to clubs quite a few times, I don't like them, so I'm not going to go. And, you know, as I say, I did all that and the drinking, all that sort of stuff. So then I just thought to myself, I'm going to put more of myself into my, you know, well, not my business, because I didn't have a business at the time, but into my intellect and into learning and into doing things like that, because that's what I want to do. That does not mean to say I do not know how to have a good time. I could just dance for ages. I really do know how to have a good time, because if you don't like, and it's something I've not done over the past few years with having the business, I've not actually let loose as much as I should do. I've not actually, you know, work hard, play hard. I've not actually fulfilled the play hard side of it that much. So it's something I need to get back to, and having a bit of a break, like I am doing this week, but just with added sort of craziness, you know, we've added sort of, not just having a break round the house, I mean having a break and going to parties or going to this or that or whatever. But as I say, I wouldn't like to go clubbing, because I just, as I say, I don't like that particularly. I realised that I don't like that. But yeah, I certainly like parties and stuff. Like parties or pubs are quite nice. You know, if you get a nice little pub, that can be quite nice, and there can be quite a nice atmosphere in there. So yeah, just let loose a little bit. That'd be something that would be a goal for me. And it's funny to say that that's a goal, because for everyone else that's like really easy to do, but for me I find it extremely hard to just like, you know, not work and just like do. Like even this week I've worked. Like I've been actually doing video content on a different site. I've been doing cryptocurrency. I've been doing investing, things like that. I've been doing a whole lot of editing of videos. I've been setting up a page that I will be talking about in a video very soon, and I'm not sure how that video is going to go down, so hopefully my core audience will support me in the decision to actually sort of go with that site and sort of promote that site in one way. But I don't know how that video is going to go down, but when you see the video on your feed, when it comes out from me, you'll know the video I'm talking about. So, you know, it's not some like really dodgy site or anything, it's what a lot of content creators do actually, but I've been debating over the last 6 or 8 months whether I should be going down that route or not. And I was actually talking about it with Nick, I think it was one time, on one of his live streams. And I was thinking, you know, should I go down that route or shouldn't I? And I finally come to the decision that, you know what, I'm gonna go down that route. I'm gonna bear it all kind of thing on YouTube. I'm gonna do the video. That does not mean I'm getting naked, by the way. It's just a poor choice of words. But basically, I'm going to do the video and see what comes of it. If there's negativity that comes from that video, then I don't really care. I'm sure that my core audience will be okay and will support me in what I'm doing, you know, on that site. And if so, then that would be brilliant. But as I say, I've been doing a bit of work on that site. I've been doing, what else? I've been obviously packaging up my eBay items. I went to auction viewing. I did an auction on Tuesday. I obviously went down to my lockup last night to get the stuff. I've been doing all sorts of bits and bobs really, but generally just not as much eBay listing. Well, not any eBay listing since Friday, I think it was Friday. So yeah, it's been nice to, like, you know, we say a change is as good as a rest. That has been really true. Like, just having this change has been really nice. Anyway, do you want me to flip you on to the other flip you onto this one here? So we'll flip onto this one, give it a bit of a change, because I don't know whether people like that white or not. I really do like it, but obviously if the majority of you guys are not sure, then I just flip it back just for those who don't like it. Ads, what are your thoughts on the future of fiat currency? I think, is that Tom? Oh, Forge Your Own Path. Hi there, Tom. I think it's going to stay around for a lot longer than people in cryptocurrency think. I think we've got a long time for fiat yet, because you think about mass scale adoption of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, it's so goddamn slow. Like, I mean, even if you say to people, oh, you know, where can I buy Bitcoin? Oh, well, just go onto Coinbase. You just verify your account. You know, you put in you register a bank, and then you can buy it really, really easily. Well, the fact is, Coinbase takes a good while to get verified. It takes, you know, it only takes a few minutes to actually get signed up, but then you have to get verified and all this. If people are waiting, right, this is the thing, if people are waiting more than 5 or 10 minutes to do something, they are not going to do it. It won't get mass scale adoption. If they are waiting 5 minutes for Bitcoin to transact between two people, or 10 minutes to transact, or whatever, if the network's like really clogged up or whatever it would be. I mean, yeah, well, actually it could be half an hour or something, couldn't it? But if they're waiting like that, they're not gonna adopt it. There needs to be serious you know, improvements. Obviously we've got the Lightning Network. I've not really looked into that. All I know about it is it's apparently going to be something that's going to help the speed of Bitcoin transactions or something like that. But what we need is an application, and so many people have talked about this, We need an application on the phone where people can buy and store Bitcoin like so easily, like you log on to Facebook. It's a 5-minute job, and then you get your Bitcoin. You've got it on your phone, put it in your pocket, sorted. Now the issue with that is obviously security, and it's obviously what if that phone like just dies randomly? Like, you know, phones have a tendency to die and then you might not be able to salvage it. There might be a way to salvage it, but I'm not sure. Maybe some real technical guys might be able to. But it needs to be that simple if we want cryptocurrency to succeed. And then in the very, very distant, well, not very, very distant future, but I don't think within my lifetime, or maybe within my lifetime, it will beat out fiat and we will not have fiat currency anymore. And for those of you who are watching who are thinking, oh my God, he's rambling about cryptocurrency again, and what the hell is fiat currency? Fiat currency just literally means like any currency that is basically a country's currency. So like Great British Pound, that's fiat. US dollar, that's fiat. Japanese yen, that's fiat. So, and I forgot what it means. I think it's Greek. I think it's like Greek or Latin. But I forgot what fiat actually means in Greek or Latin. But yeah, so I think we need to be serious. Serious improvements before we get mass scale adoption. And from then, I think it's going to take... I still think it's going to take a while for it to really properly rival those currencies and then beat them out completely, because don't forget, those currencies have got the backing of governments, and governments are powerful, and if governments don't side with cryptocurrency to begin with, and they side with their currency, then we're just going to have this big war that's going to go on for years between Bitcoin and obviously these fiat currencies. However, if the government decide to accept, or all the governments of the world create some sort of treaty and accept that Bitcoin is going to be the only universal currency, or well, not the only universal currency, but the universal currency alongside other cryptocurrencies, then that would be incredible. And honestly, it would be such a better world, because you could then transact on the Litecoin network or on the Bitcoin network if the Bitcoin network speeds up. You could transact on those networks lightning fast all over the world, and you can transfer thousands and hundreds of thousands of pounds for like less than £1 in fees, especially on the Litecoin network, obviously even pence on the Litecoin network. But can you imagine that compared to doing an international bank transfer, which you pay like 20 quid for, and then it takes like 2 days to go through because you have to do a manual kind of confirmation on that transaction? It's gonna be insane. It's like pen pals, right? You know, when you had a, well, maybe not me, but you know, maybe some people in the chat who are a bit older than me, maybe double my age or something. Did you ever have a pen pal across the other side of the world that your two schools got in touch, one from Australia, one from UK, and you set up a pen pal? It's going to be like that, but for money, and it's going to be like virtually free. And you could probably, I don't even know, you could probably put messages in the transaction as well, to be honest. There's probably easy way to do that. I mean, you can do that on platforms like Steam and stuff like that in the memo. So you could probably put a message in with the transaction. So you could put happy birthday from Adam in the UK to da-di-da in Australia, and then you could put 0.001 Bitcoin, which might be at the time £10, and then you can send them their birthday money from here to Australia, and that is incredible, because you can give a present to someone in Australia without having like hardly any fees, and you don't have to like send it in the post or anything like that, and it's lightning fast. It is a revolution, and people don't understand it. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting overexcited because you know what it is. I am an investor. I am an investor, and when I latch onto something that I know fundamentally is really good, and maybe not everyone can see it, it does annoy me. It does annoy me, because if people could understand it more, they would be so infused with what it can do and the technology behind it, and also the potential investment and the potential profit that you can make from the cryptocurrency going up in value once it's more mass adopted. Because law of supply and demand, Bitcoin only has like, what is it? Is it 18 million? Is that right? Or 16 million? I've actually forgot, but it's like 16 or 18 million. And once they're gone, they're basically gone, and they're only mined at a very slow rate anyway. And I believe the last one's going to be mined in like 2140. So because of such a restrictive flow on the supply, and if more people get on board, then they could be buying up bitcoins like there's no tomorrow, basically, and the price goes through the roof. So, you know, just by supply and demand, obviously, Adam Smith and the invisible hand, the principle of the invisible hand that he developed in the mid-18th century, all that comes into play here, and it means that it could be a phenomenal investment opportunity in the longer term, and also it's fundamentally brilliant for the world if governments can accept it and can use it as, you know, as a sort of universal currency. But anyway, I'll stop rambling on that. Oh, God, people are probably moaning right down the chat like, oh my God, what's he doing? I think it's coming sooner than you think. Look at douche. Oh, yes, yeah, I was following that. Do you watch Data Dash, Tom? I know, but I do think it's coming soon, but I just don't know the level of being able to beat out fiat. I mean, I get what you mean about the mass adoption. I think the mass adoption could come pretty soon because it only takes one good developer to develop a better app that you can buy Bitcoin really easily with and send it faster using the Lightning Network. And that's basically mass scale adoption right there with a bit of advertising and promotion and stuff. You basically got it adopted by half the world, you know, like by a few billion people. But obviously, to actually beat out fiat, if there's still strong, you know, strong hands behind the fiat, running the fiat currencies, it's going to be a bit more of a long-scale, you know, digital war in a sense, because it's going to be, you know, a load of people using Bitcoin, but then a load of people still using fiat because the governments won't give it up. They'll keep, you know, pumping out fiat currency and keep it you know, circulated, and then it's just going to be this thing that live alongside each other for a while. So I think they can coexist for quite a while, but I think there's no need for them to coexist because Bitcoin is something that quite frankly, in a lot of respects, is better than fiat currency. The only thing is that it doesn't physically exist, so in one respect it doesn't necessarily have a tangible value, but, you know, still it's supply and demand. Supply and demand has a real good value because of supply and demand, and because of obviously more people buying it, and there's only a small percentage available. There's only a small amount available. So anyway, oh well, ads is gonna have a crisis soon. I'm not. I just get very passionate. Big hands in fiat are starting to build hands in crypto. Oh, did you say, Tom? Do you watch Data Dash? I don't know whether you said then. Will be 19 million BTC. 90 million. So what are you invested in then? Because did I ask you that last time we were talking about crypto? Actually, you know what? I'll just message you. Don't bother putting it on the chat if you don't want to. I'll just message you in a bit or something and see what you're into. Because there's no point me using Thursday Talks as just a platform to randomly have a chat with you about crypto. So I'll have to get back to a bit of eBay. No views or no sales. Thank God for Facebook sales, Richard Hale says. Yeah, I've not done Facebook. I did. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I said, didn't I? I had my first Instagram sale the other week, so that was nice. And it's something I am going to consider, go down the Instagram route a bit. But just having all these different places where you can basically sell and have a platform to actually get some money is brilliant. So whatever you can do is obviously a good thing, but obviously you have got to factor in your time as well. If you're spending like, if you're literally working 24/7 and, you know, other than sleep, but you know, if you're working a lot of the time and you don't have time to do the things you love or anything like that, then you know, it's just you're spending too much time on it. So you've got to think about time. But if you've got the time to do these other platforms, then yeah, go for it and just have a stab at it, really. Anyway, I'll just quickly go up the chat because I probably missed out a lot when I was rambling. Crash back down to earth. I had to check. I was going mad. Did he just switch the background? No. Well, basically, this is a background. This white one. So if I go to this one, no, not that one, that one. This is a background, like this is, I've actually put this white background in, because obviously this green screen is green right now. I'm looking at a green screen. A green screen, that's funny. Anyway, no, but That'd be funny actually if I didn't turn the green screen on, and then I could say I'm on green screen here, but you've not even actually turned it on. Anyway, maybe I'm not being funny. Anyway, so this is green, so I had to actually add in the white. So it isn't that I've got no background; it's that I've got a white background. Well, technically speaking, but no, I did change it to my usual Thursday Talks background. Anyway, let me go back in the chat. I'm so sorry, that background is so annoying. Looks like an asteroid has just a field. And it looks like an asteroid has just hit a field, you mean? Oh, Civ Victorious. Civ Vicious? Civ Vicious. Ah, right, so you changed it. I can see, though, the names are getting weaker. Civ Vicious is pretty cool, but it's still not like the early names. That Special K, no, Sib K, that was the best one. That's got to be the best one. Or that, what was that other one? What was the other one that you came up with? Oh, I forgot it, but there was another really good one you had. I'm part of your poor audience. Dad joke. Oh, God. The full Monty. No, I'm not going to... yeah, that was one I was saying. I'm not going to get naked or something. Oh no, I didn't miss that much chat. That's not too bad. And definitely do not look your age. As far as ends, you definitely do not look your age. Why? Who's put the age? I can't see anything. I don't look 28, but hey, Peter says. I don't know what age you look actually, Peter. That was really funny because I was thinking, like, the other day when I was on one of your live streams, I don't even know why I was thinking this, but I thought, I wonder how old Peter looks. And I was thinking, you don't look 28. I don't think you look older than 28, but I don't think you look 28. You know, it's weird. I don't know why I was even thinking that, but I would just think it just popped into my mind. Need some sexy ladies or men if you are a lady. If you are a lady on the background. We could get some, like, we could get like a little like stripper background or something, and we could put like a little pole, or I could put like a little pole thing here. Well, I don't know whether it would be a physical pole or whether it would just be on the background, like inlaid to the background. Or we could put like I could put a looping video on, which I did the other week. And I could have like some strippers here or something, but I'd probably get done for YouTube, like, oh, this is over 18 content, or this is I'd probably get like a policy violation or something, or copyright violation. I can't even say it. Copyright violation. That's what I'm trying to say. For not copyright. It wouldn't be copyright, would it? It'd be like policy violation for like nakedness or something. I don't even know, but it'd be something like that. But I could probably do it with like not naked people, or like, well, I wasn't going to do it with naked people anyway, but you know what I mean, I was going to do it with like half naked people, so maybe I'd have to do it with just like fully clothed people. Actually, you know what I could do? I could do a background, like I could create a background, edit a background together with me going around a stripper pole, and then I could basically duplicate that scene over to the other side, so that then I've got a scene of two versions of me doing that on a, like, you know, going around a pole like a stripper, and then I could be the actual version in the middle, not on a pole in the stripper, just talking to you guys, and then we could have that behind, and the new people who joined the stream would be like, what the hell is going on? What is this channel? I'm not going near this guy again. Boom, unsubscribe. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, so we'll quickly have a look. What's he talking about? I think Dave's just joined and he's like overwhelmed with what I'm on about. Have you just joined, Dave? I think you have, haven't you? I can't see your name up here anywhere. Focus ads. Space theme. Dude, I know, but the problem with the space theme is because I've not got my two photography lights either side, it's very, very like grainy up here. So I'll put it on for a second, but I'm not gonna... Where is it? Which one is it? Yeah, that one. You see what I mean? It's like really grainy because I've not got my lighting right. I've not got my right lights either side. So it's like really bad up there. So that's if you don't light a green screen properly. That's what happens if you wanted to know. So you need to, like, lighting a green screen is like, well, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's, you have to have like a lot of lighting. Like I have my spotlight there, up there, which is like a 96 LED, really, really bright light. I'm not even going, that's like 20% of what it can go to. Like that's like full. like so. So that actually, that's helped it a bit, just even with that spotlight on full. But actually, it makes it look really good, doesn't it, with this spotlight on it? It really enhances myself on the green screen. But I have that spotlight. I might turn that on full actually in future, but it's a bit daunting for my eyes. And then I'd have another light there, that side, and then another light there. So you've got like your 2 spotlights this side, and then you've got that one this side that emphasises yourself on the green screen. So these 2 are kind of lighting the green screen, so then you've not got this fuzziness and this back sort of panel, like, I can't even, like up there, you know what I'm talking about, that back panel. And then basically that one lights you, so it's pretty cool, you know, it's pretty cool when you've got it lit right, but obviously I don't have it lit right. It's not green though. It is green glitter sunflower, but it's just, you can't see it green. It's green for me. It's green here, it's green. Can I turn it off? Well, I can turn it off actually, but I would, one sec. One sec. No. Oh no, I've just clicked it back to default. Damn it. Uh-oh. Sorry. One sec. Me messing up. I'm trying to turn it off and then... Right, there we go. But I'll have to do it like this for now on. Right, anyway. Right, I'll have to change that when I finish up. Right, oh no, it's gone back to default on this as well now. Right, there we go. Right, that'll do. That'll do for now. I'll have to just stand like in the middle here. Anyway, so... Yeah. I was trying to turn the green screen off so you could actually see the green screen, but yeah, I ended up clicking default settings and now it's gone back to the default. Anyway, that's an easy fix. Adds Love Island contestants, that's brilliant. I come out with some random stuff. I forget most of what I say. Peter, you probably know that more than most people. Actually, I'm going to turn that light down because that is really hot. Like, that's getting hot so quick. Because it's hot anyway, but what's he talking about? Ads if you wear a green t-shirt. Yeah, that's what Retro Boot Disc said to me. He said, you've got to wear a green t-shirt one day, so then you'll just be like a floating head. But I said, we can probably do one step further than that, and we could get like, I could get like a proper full-on morph suit. Oh no, wait, what was I going to say? What? No, I think he said like, get a green t-shirt on. So yeah, that was it. He said get a green t-shirt on so you'll be like arms and a head and maybe a bit of your body or something. But I said, well, what I could do is get a green morph suit and then I could literally just be like a head, like just floating. How cool would that be? That would be so awesome. But yeah, it'd have to be the right type of green to actually go with this green screen, because this green screen is a certain shade, but I'm sure you could get them, like green, you know, morph suits that actually go on green screen. I'm constantly blocking ads, especially pop-up ads. Why is there an advert? I've not even inserted an advert. I get the option to insert an ad at the bottom of the, like, I can, oh no, wait, where is the ad? Oh yeah, there. I can click insert ad right now. But we shouldn't, like, I didn't think there's ads on the live stream, like, right now. I thought the ads only appear if I click insert an ad, and then obviously after the live stream. But, obviously I have ad blocker, so you can have ad blocker, although, obviously I won't get paid as much, well, paid as much, like I get paid hardly anything at all. But, oh yeah, I worked out how much an hour I've been on YouTube over the last 4 years. I'm on, like, 4 pence an hour. Like, the amount of hours I've put in for editing and an actual video production and all the rest of it, I'm on 4 pence an hour. That is insane. So, this chat right now, like, on average, this chat, I'm on 4 pence, like, for doing this chat. So, that is crazy, innit? I tell you, YouTube do not pay enough. I wish YouTube paid more, but anyway... I'll leave it there then, guys. Oh, Sue's just joined us. Sorry, Sue, we're about off now, so I apologise. Anyway, it's nice to have a lot of people in. Obviously, we've got Sparrow's Ending, which I think is fairly new to my streams. We've had a couple of other new people in, I think, today as well. So, yeah, I will leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for joining me, as always. And I'll round it off here, because otherwise we'll be over the hour. Well, we already are over the hour. So, I will see you in the next video. I'm going to do a haul video because I've got all that stuff from the auction. So, I'm going to do like, you know, like I used to do with like, I'll just get a box and then I'll go through the box kind of thing. And we'll do a haul video, that sort of style. So yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon.